Coffee shop etiquette. Coffee shop do's and don'ts. You either know it or you don't. And if you don't, then I got you. Now I get it. If you've never worked in coffee, if you've never worked as a barista a day in your life, then some of these things you just might not know. But that's where I come in at, your barista best friend, to tell you what's up and what's definitely not up. Listen carefully to what I'm saying, because if you do and don't do some of these things, then you're about to be your barista's favorite person. And while I cannot specifically disclose what us baristas do for our favorite customers, I can tell you that if you're a barista's favorite, well, there's a lot of perks that come with that. So, coffee shop etiquette tip number 1. When you walk up to the register and you are ready to order your coffee, your beverage, please, please, please always lead off your drink order with hot or iced. And I'll tell you why. First reason being because default for a lot of drinks on coffee menus and coffee shops is hot. If you walk into any coffee shop, and yes, that is including Starbucks, that is including Dunkin'. Actually, I don't know about Dunkin'. Every location's got their own rules. It's kind of a free-for-all. But I digress. If you walk into any coffee shop and you order a latte, default for lattes is hot. That's kind of standard across the board. So if you're looking for an iced latte, then you need to specifically tell your barista that you want it iced. Unless the menu board specifically says iced or cold, or basically any word that's alluding to not hot, you need to specifically tell your barista if you want something iced instead of hot. In addition to that, the other reason for this is because a lot of our POS systems are set up where not only do we need to input the drink, but we need to put the drink size and whether the drink is hot or iced in first before we can proceed punching in the rest of your order. To make your barista's life easier, let them know right off the bat whether you want your drink hot or iced. Let me give you an example of how that's gonna look. May I please have a medium, small, large, whatever size you want, iced vanilla latte with oat milk? Or may I please have a small iced matcha latte with almond milk? Just say the word right at the beginning and get it over with. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 2. Some drinks are inherently slightly sweeter than other drinks, such as mochas or white mochas, pumpkin spice, other seasonal drinks as well. Every coffee shop follows a standard of what syrup pumps, how many espresso shots, etc. go into each drink size that they carry. It is standard across the board. Therefore, if you do not specify the level of sweetness you want in your drink, you may end up with 6 pumps of mocha. Now, I don't know about you, but 6 pumps of mocha, that is way too much for me. Typically, when I order a mocha or a white mocha, I will request half sweet or half the amount of pumps that go into it. Let your barista know up front while you're ordering what your desired level of sweetness is. Listen, at the end of the day, us baristas, we can do a lot, but we can't read your mind. If you're somebody that typically drinks black coffee and you don't really like to have a lot of sweetness in your coffee, then communicate that up front. If you don't, and you end up with a drink that is far too sweet, well, there's really no one to blame other than yourself. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 3. Speak loudly, speak carefully, and speak clearly. If you yourself are confused, chances are your barista is confused too. Again, we are not mind readers. You need to communicate with us what exactly you're looking for. Speak at a volume where the barista can hear you. Listen, behind the bar, it is tough to hear. There's a grinder going at all times. There's an espresso machine pulling shots at all times. There's coffee being brewed at all times. There are blenders going at all times. When you're behind the bar, it is so difficult to even hear the music that's playing in the cafe. My mumblers out there, I love you, I hear you, I see you, I validate you. But when you step into a coffee shop, you cannot be Mr. Mumbles anymore. You gotta speak up, babe. There are a lot of times where sometimes us baristas may get your drink wrong, but I can honestly say that 80 to 90% of the time when that happens, it's because we didn't hear you. We didn't hear what you wanted or what you had to say because we simply can't hear people who are mumbling. Now, does that mean you need to walk into a coffee shop at 5 a.m. and scream at the barista? No, that's not what I'm saying. But speak at a volume where the other person you're conversing with can hear you. It's simple, and I know you know how to do that. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 4. You will receive your drink in the order in which we received it. Every coffee shop has a different system that they follow. At Starbucks, we had drink stickers that would print out in the order in which the order was received. At my current cafe, we follow an iPad that is directly synced with the register, and that's how we see the orders that are coming through. I'm telling you that to tell you that trying to skip the line is impossible. In addition to that, the more complicated your drink order is, the longer it's going to take to come out. Again, this is common sense, but common sense ain't that common apparently. But you didn't hear that from me though. The more you bug your baristas and the more you stop them to be like, where's my drink order? The longer it's going to take you to get your drink. Just trust that your baristas will get your drink out to you as quickly as humanly possible. And in addition to that, let the baristas do their thing. If you got a complicated drink order, then don't you want your barista to spend a little extra time on it to make sure it's right? Also, at the barista is the quickest way to ensure that you're not getting caffeine. If someone's nasty to us, well, be a damn shame if they got decaf. Now, am I condoning that? Do I think that that's right? No. But also, nasty people, karma's a bitch, and karma comes in the form of decaf. So, be nice to your baristas, as always, and be patient. Wait your turn. If you're in a rush, then maybe don't stop for coffee. Or more importantly, don't stop for coffee in the middle of peak morning rush. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 5. To piggyback off of my last point, well, some drinks just don't take as much time to put together and get out on the bar. Take notes on this next part if you are someone who is typically in a rush in the morning. From a barista to you. The quickest drinks to make and get out on the bar in the morning are drip coffees, iced teas, cold brews, hot teas, or really anything that doesn't involve espresso. All of those drinks that I just listed out all have something in common apart from not being espresso based. They are all things that the baristas at the bar, at the espresso machine, do not need to worry about. The way that it goes in my current cafe and the way that it's gone in all of my cafes is typically the person who's on register will be grabbing the drip coffee, the cold brew, and the iced coffee, because it's a matter of just turning around from the register, pouring it, and handing it back to you. When you get something that's espresso based, it goes through the bar, the espresso bar. And newsflash, most people want lattes in the morning, so it's usually backed up. If you want your drink quicker than everyone else, then choose from that list. There are times where the person who ordered a latte is still waiting by the time the person who ordered a cold brew is out the door. If you want an efficient coffee shop experience, then order an efficient coffee-based drink. It's that simple. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 6. Listen for your name that's being called out. That's a given. But in addition to that, if you're somebody that has more of a common name like a Sarah or John or Jeff, then maybe consider giving the barista the first initial of your last name when you're ordering. Be proactive about it to make sure that there's not another Sarah or another Jeff or another John in the cafe that may accidentally grab your drink instead of theirs. Always double check before you go to make sure that you got your drink and that you're not gonna get into your car, take a sip, and it's gonna be something that you don't want. Just double check, make sure, and if all else fails, just listen for the first initial of your last name. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 7. Leave the bar cleaner than how you found it. I cannot drive this one home any harder. The bar that I'm referring to is the customer-facing bar, the one where the creams are on, the simple syrup, the napkins, the straws, the stir sticks, everything that you need as the customer to spruce up your drink and go on your way. The amount of people that come through in the morning, during the morning rush or afternoon rush, and they leave the bar a freaking mess. I don't understand this because I wasn't raised this way. I was raised to always leave somewhere in a better condition than how you found it. But there are people that will literally just take their stir sticks, stir their cream into their coffee, and just throw it on the bar and walk away and go off to work or wherever else they're going to. Meanwhile, the trash can is right next to them, but they just leave it on the bar for the baristas to clean up. There are times that I've seen people straight up spill their coffee or spill the creams on the bar and they walk away like it didn't happen. You do realize that somebody has to clean that up, right? And while it might not be you, it's someone. Would you appreciate if someone came into your work and made a mess and expected you to clean it up? I don't think so, honey. At least don't make it any messier than how you found it. Coffee shop etiquette tip number 8. Now this is another piggyback off the last one, but cream, sugar, stir sticks, straws, napkins. I can also not stress this one enough. Please look carefully at the bar to confirm that what you need is not already accessible to you before you go and stop the baristas in their flow, stop them from getting the drinks out, and this is especially during rush periods and peak hours. But when I tell you the amount of people that will be like, where's the lids? Where are the straws? Where's the half and half? And it's like, honey, did you consider opening your eyes? It's right there. Last but not least, the most important coffee shop etiquette tip that I have for you is be kind and be respectful to your baristas. Listen, man, at the end of the day, us baristas, we're humans, okay? We have a family, we have friends, we have dogs, we have cats. We are full functioning humans just like you. Why do we deserve less respect in your eyes than anyone else? In addition to that, there may sometimes be a little bit longer of a wait than usual. This is typically during peak morning rush hours, afternoon hours. If you come to get coffee while the rest of the world also goes to get coffee, then be conscious that your wait times might be a little bit longer. This is not an excuse to be an asshole. So be nice to your baristas. I'm watching you. That's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy, go grab yourself a coffee. You deserve it, you earned it, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.